Hi, welcome back to Mr. Menta's ELL Classroom. This is going to be the first video on our section of Chapter 9 of the Blue Book, covering the simple present tense. To complete this video, you will need to have this page from your textbook, which is included in the description of the YouTube video, page 79, and this page, page 80. You do not need to print these today. You can just pull them up on a computer or a tablet and read them. You will need a sheet of notebook paper and a pen or pencil. Now, Chapter 9 covers the simple present tense. Javier, when you are watching this, when we stopped our lessons at school, you were in the middle of Chapter 9. So some of this you will have seen before. I know you don't like doing lessons twice, but it's been a while, so I think a little review would be helpful, and we're going to have a lot of writing this time, which I think is the thing that you could most use some improvement on. So this will give you practice in your writing. And then you'll be caught up and get to the new stuff in no time. All right. So, starting Chapter 9, like we always do, we're going to have a lot of emphasis on languages and nationalities, and also everyday activities. Okay? And we'll just go over the basic vocab that we will be using in this chapter. Follow along on your sheet at home. Okay? Call, cook, drive, eat, listen. They say listen to music. Always look for the little musical notes in this book. They like doing that so you'll know it's music. Paint, play, read, sell, shop, sing, speak, visit, watch TV, and work. Those are going to be the main words that we're going to be using and examining the grammar rules of as we go. So, let's get started. Go on to the next page, page 80. And over here, we have a little bit of review, maybe. This is how we use the present tense to have a few basic conversations. So, interviews around the world. So we're going to have people talking to each other, asking questions. See how we've got this guy with the microphone here doing an interview? And we're going to be using this basic format. I live, we live, you live, they live. Question, where do I, we, you, or they live? What do I, we, you, or they do? Now you'll notice we didn't say he, we didn't say she, we didn't say it, because those are going to have different rules, okay? But for now, we're practicing for I, we, you, they. We're going to get to he, she, and it the next video. So remember, each exercise builds on itself. Hopefully, this is Chapter 9. We've built up some groundwork of our English skills. So this is pretty clear, but it's going to get harder as we go. Each chapter always gets more challenging the farther you get into it. So, they've given us an example conversation here. Okay? And if we were still at school, I would have this be a speaking exercise. We would speak these out loud, and it'd be good speaking practice. But here, because we don't have partners to work with anymore, and because we need practice in writing anyway, we're going to turn the speaking exercises into writing exercises. Okay? So, this person is asking the questions. This person is answering them. What's your name? My name is Antonio. Where do you live? I live in Rome. See, you can see these are some famous Roman ruins called the Colosseum in the background, which I've been there, by the way. I recommend everyone visit. What language do you speak? I speak Italian. Tell me, what do you do every day? I eat Italian foods, I sing Italian songs, and I watch Italian TV shows. So we've got a lot of words we're using here, a lot of use of the vocab words. So now, what you're going to do is you're going to take these people, and now you are the person with the microphone up there. And you're going to make new questions. You're going to write those questions on your sheet of notebook paper. For example, this person here, we can see her name is Carmen. So, these are the questions you're going to ask. What's your name? Where do you live? What language do you speak? And what do you do every day? So, on your sheet of notebook paper, write number 1. Then write number 1. What's your name? Okay? Then underneath that, I want you to write down her response. Okay? So underneath that, write, my name is Carmen. Okay? Now, we're not done. Still under number 1, write the next question. Where do you live? And then write the answer. I live in Madrid. You getting the idea here? Then, still under number 1, write the next question. What language do you speak? And then write her answer. So we're pretending to be 2 people in this. Write her answer. I speak Spanish. Okay? Then, what do you do every day? And then you say, I eat Spanish foods. I sing Spanish songs, and I watch Spanish TV shows. And if you want to get a little creative with this, what do you do every day? That's okay. But use the word Spanish. Spanish TV shows, Spanish songs, Spanish books, Spanish magazines. Something using the word Spanish, okay? So we're going to write a lot of sentences for each number. Then when you're done with that, move on to number 2 and ask these questions to Kenji, who lives in Tokyo and is Japanese. Okay? Alright. So, that should be a pretty good, solid writing exercise. Get a lot of practice with your writing, practicing our grammar rules. Okay? So pause the video now and write down the answers to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. After you're done writing, unpause it, and then I will go over the answers with you. Okay? So pause the video now. I'll wait. Okay, great. Did you pause the video? Alright, so number 1 I already did with you. Number 2, okay? Number 2, well, you should have written, what's your name? Write the question too. If you didn't write the question, pause it now and go back and write it. My name is Kenji. Where do you live? I live in Tokyo. What language do you speak? I speak Japanese. What do you do every day? I eat Japanese food. I watch Japanese TV shows. I read Japanese magazines. Over here, you can be creative, so if you didn't write exactly that, that's okay. Just make sure you use the word Japanese. Okay, next one. Okay, what's your name? My name is Nicole. This is number 3. Where do you live? I live in Paris. What language do you speak? I speak French. What do you do every day? I watch French TV shows and eat French food. Something like that with the word French. Okay, next. Okay, so what's... Okay, interesting. So over here, they gave us a group of people. So, you change what you wrote just a little bit. Bonus points, if you thought of this. The question should be, what are your names? What are your names? Little different than the last one. Not what's your name, what are your names? They're being tricky. Okay? And then their answer should be, our names are Eric and Monica. Okay? So, pay attention to that. That change in the grammar is exactly the kind of thing that we are studying here to make sure that we can get all of those changes. Okay? Okay. Next, I believe the next question is, where do you live? We live in Berlin. What language do you speak? We speak German. What do you do every day? We eat German food. We watch German TV shows. We sing German songs. Something like that. Good. Number 5. What's your name? My name is Jai-hee. Where do you live? I live in Seoul. That's a city in South Korea. What language do you speak? I speak Korean. What do you do every day? I eat Korean food and watch Korean TV shows. Okay, and number 6. Again, we have 2 people, so pay attention to your grammar. What are your names? Make sure you did not write the same question for 1 person and for 2 people. It should change, okay? Make sure you changed. Went from what's to what are. What are your names? Our names are Boris and Natasha. Where do you live? We live in Moscow. What language do you speak? We speak Russian. What do you do every day? We watch Russian TV shows, we listen to Russian music, we eat Russian food. Make sure you use the word Russian. Something like that. Okay, so that was the first page. In the next video, which I recommend you go on to, we're going to be talking about the other group, he, she, and it, for the similar sorts of questions.